Once again, you're welcome to my YouTube tutorial. In this video, we are going to be analyzing what we call supply chain management analysis. This is a task that we're done, and also that I would also like to share with as many of you in a simple way. So we have warehouse, utility, then we have what we call days of inventory sales. We have inventory turnover, then we have our region, that where the sales comes from. We have east, we have north, we have south, then we also have west. Then we have inventory by category, which is the category of products. We have accessories, then we have clothing, electronics, as well as we have our furniture. Then we have warehouse utilization. This is what we've already used, and this is our target, and this is the capacity. So this is the capacity of the warehouse. This is our target. Once the warehouse hits 80% already, we know that we need more space, and this is what we have also used for now, 34.0% of our target. Then we have transportation cost by region and category. As you can see, we have furniture, we have electronics, we have clothing, then we have accessory by waste, by region. So that's why transportation cost by region and category. Then we have units sold by year and forecasted into 2025. As you can see, we've already forecasted into 2025. Already we have our year that ended in 2024 by having units sold by 198,442. So we forecasted into 2025 to see what will be. So it shows that in 2025 we forecasted for 6 months a period only, and it makes us to understand in 2025 we are going to have an upper bound of about 372. That means we are going to have more sales in 2025, and we have inventory level by category and region as well. Then we have back order by status. So we have fulfilled order already. These are the back order, but this one is already fulfilled. Then we have a pending of 248 that we needed to attend to. Then we have a cancelled order, back order, which is 140. Then try it by our year. You can see we have an interactive dashboard here. We have 2020, and you can see this is what we have by inch year. So when we try this also, you can see we have for 2021, you can see we have, this is what we generated already for the 2021 period. So we have days of inventory, we have inventory turnover, we have region, the region is south that gave us this. Then we have, what about the category? Accessory gave us, we have revenue by warehouse utility is 40.11, days of inventory is 36, then inventory turnover is 12.44. You can see we've already used 40.11 out of our utility. Warehouse capacity. So already we have used half of it for accessory alone. This is part of what we are going to be learning, and we saw that we sold 712 in 2021 alone. And when we also did for 2022, the same thing, we can see we are going to have a different result. You can see in 2022 we have what we call 191,763 in 2022, that is units sold for that year. So these are what we are going to be looking into in this analysis. So the first thing we are going to do now is I'm going to save it back. After saving it, then I'm going to click on files. From files here, I will go to open blank reports. So we're going to have it from open blank, then we are going to start our analysis one after the other. So also I'm going to provide the datasets needed for this analysis for you to practice along. And also, if you are new to this channel, this is Peter Analytics. Please, if you find any of our videos useful, if you find it from our video interesting to you, please like, please comment, and also please subscribe. By doing this, you encourage us to do more, And there's so many people out there that need videos like this. So your comments, your suggestion, your liking our video, and by subscribing, it encourages us to do more. So we look forward to that as you do that to encourage us in doing more videos. So I'm going to click on get data. I can as well use what we call I can use Excel sheets immediately if I have my data sets in workbook. Is a workbook. I can really click here. I can also from here import from Excel. If I have it in SQL, I can import it from SQL Server. I can also paste into a blank table. I can also use sample data if I don't really have a data. But I'm going to click and get data. Then I'm going to click on Microsoft workbook as a workbook to get my data. And from there, let me see if my data is actually in shipping and logistic. That means I'm going to cancel. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. So definitely I don't have any of this. So that means my data is in test CSV. So I will go to test CSV and I will go to what we call supply chain data. So actually my data was stored in test CSV. So I'm going to click open. That is the first thing that I'm going to do. Then after that, I'm going to follow by the next step. So it's actually connecting, and from there we can actually keep running our analysis. So we expect it to load as soon as possible. So we have this already. So this is our delta that we are going to use. So we only have one single data already. This data is cleaned. So I don't have to probably have little something to do. But as I always said, I always encourage people to make sure go through transform. Even though you assumed that your data is well cleaned, it's always advisable for you to go through transform. So I'm going to go through transform. If I click on load, I'm going to find my data here. You can see this is what we have here. So my data is going to appear here if I click transform. And if I click load, my data will appear here. So I'm not going to click load, so I'm going to click transform my data. So when I click transform my data, it's going to open in a Power Query editor. And the Power Query editor is another topic and another lesson on its own. As many of you that would like to learn more of this, please you can check more of my video whereby I talked about Power Query basic. So we have our supply chain data set opened here already. Now, when we go to view, the reason why you are seeing something like this is when you go to view, you can see we have column quality. When I uncheck the column quality, you can see we can see how quality our columns are. So, but for me to see how quality are the column or how quality my column has, I have to click on this. You can see. So it shows the quality of my column. We have valid 100%, error 0, empty we have 0. So what I'm going to do next, I scroll to this side, everything is perfectly correct without nothing being changed. So, and the next thing I would advise you to always do is check if your data set, especially the date we have in the date format, is clear. Check if your data sets are in the right format. Units sold, we have it as this. So we have our units sold as old number. So definitely that is fine. So we don't have to do anything more there. We have our warehouse in a test. We have our supplier in a test as well. So this is actually perfectly done. So the next thing we are going to do, just for us to click and close and apply, because lead time is in Deals. So I'm going to leave this like this. Lead time is in Deals, so I will leave it like that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go back to home. From home, I will click close and apply. Then we start our something. So that means we have already left Power Query, and we are going to see our data that we have here in a jiffy. So that is the next thing that we have to do. Then from there, we can see we have our data loading already. So sometimes when your data is big, it might take some few seconds or minutes before actually fully loading. And if you're probably someone like me that have a lot on my system, sometimes it might take like 1 minute, even though the data is not as big as it should be, but because you have so much load on your system. Then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to check our relationship. Although we don't have anything to do with the relationship because we only have one single table. So since we have one single table, so definitely we don't have anything to do in our relationship. So we have the first one here, which is called the data view. This is our data view. This is the report view. So we have our report view, then we have what we call our table view, then we have our relationship. So when we go to our relationship, we can see we only have one single table, so there's nothing to connect to. Then we go to our table view. When we go to our table view, you can see we only have one table available here, which is our supply chain data set. So these are all our tables. Then the next thing is we go back to our report view. This is where our report is going to be situated. We call it a report view. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this as a report. That is what I normally do, a report. Then after that, I'm going to save. Go to File. Then I'm going to name my dashboard, and I'm going to name as supply inventory. I'm going to name it as supply inventory, supply inventory analysis. Then I'm going to click save. So that's already done, by the way. Then the next thing is going to do is we are going to create some layer where we are going to have some little calculation. Then I go to data. Because I want everything to be organized, I can as well from here have my layer done. I can just come to these 3 dots. From these 3 dots, I can easily create new layer. That means when I do that, I'm going to have everything here. And when I'm looking for a particular layer, I have to be searching. So it's the better way is just for you to go to enter data and just click on enter data. This is a basic way of explaining it to as many of you that you are new to Power BI. So from there, I'm just going to write mail. That's all, nothing more. Mail. So mail. So I'm just going to load, nothing more. I don't have anything else hard to do. Then from there, we start creating our mail one after the other. And that is the first thing we are going to be doing. Then I'm going to be clicking the first one we have. So we're still waiting for it to open. Then when it's done, fully loading, still loading. When it's fully loaded, then we go to create our mail one after the other. So the first mail we are going to create, warehouse utilization. Warehouse utilization, whereby we are going to be calculating dividing the sum of our inventory level with the sum of the warehouse capacity. We have a warehouse capacity here, and when I decided to put this, so we have all measure at the top, that's good. When I have our warehouse capacity here, I want to see what is our warehouse capacity already. Let's see what we have in our warehouse capacity. We have sum of warehouse capacity, we have 9 million. Okay, then this is what we are going to do. I'm going to open this, then I'm going to the 3 dots here, added all mail. Go to the 3 dots, and I'm going to click on the 3 dots, then I will go to new mail. So that is the first thing I'm going to do. Then he's going to open the tab for me. I'm going to hold and I'm going to, let's wait a bit. I'm going to expand it a bit for you to actually see what I'm going to write. So I'm going to write the first thing is going to be our warehouse. I'm going to shorten it, utilization, warehouse utilization. Let me see, utilize. Let me just put it that way. Warehouse utilization. So we are going to have, I'm going to divide the sum. Remember we have 9 million in our warehouse capacity. Now, when you are using any of this formula, always try to read what is written at the top. You can see we have divide. We are using divide now. We have divide numerator, then we have denominator. Numerator comes before the denominator. So we have the bigger one and the smaller one, then we have alternative. We are not going to use anything about the alternative now. So save divide function with ability to handle divide by 0. Okay, so the first thing we're going to divide the sum. We're going to divide the sum of our inventory level, which is more bigger. The sum of inventory level. So we look for our inventory level here. I can easily expand it from here for me to see. Sum of inventory level. I will look for the sum of inventory level. This is supply chain inventory level. Then I'm going to close and I'm going to, remember, we have moved our numerator, so we need our comma here. Then I'm going to put the comma there. Then I'm also going to look for the sum again of, this time around is going to be the sum of our warehouse capacity. So I'm going to look for the sum of our warehouse capacity. This is our warehouse capacity. Then I'm going to close again. Already I've done with that. So you can see this is closed, then alternative result. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to times it by 100. So that is just what I'm going to do. Times it by 100, either enter or you click from there. So we have the first layer created. Because I don't actually need, let's wait a bit. I don't actually need this column 1, so I'm going to remove this column 1. So let me open this, let me expand this a bit. So I'm not going to use this, I don't need it, so I'm going to remove this. When you are removing this, please be careful. So I'm going to delete it from the model. So it's going to be in delete column. Are you sure you want to delete column 1? Yes, because it's actually not useful. So the second thing I'm going to create is the total units sold. I want to know the total units sold of those goods, how much or how many have we sold, which they would like to see the total units sold. So I'm going to have a new layer again. Then I'm going to have the total units sold, which is going to give me the supply, the total, the sum of units sold, that is all. Then I'm going to have this total units sold, as simple as this is total units sold, total units sold is equal to sum. This is the sum of units sold. So I'm having the sum of units sold. Enter on your keyboard. Already we are done with that. Then the next thing we are going to do, we need the total back order. We want to see how many back order do we actually have, because this is inventory and supply chain analysis. So we have another one, new layer, and from our new layer we are going to create our, so we're going to have back order. Let me put it as total back order. Total back order. So it's giving me the sum of the back order. The sum of the back order. So we have this, then we close this, we enter. Then the next one we're going to have our inventory turnover rate. So we want to have inventory turnover ratio. We want to see what is our turnover by ratio. So this is what we want to see. So I'm also going to create a new layer again. So we are going to have this done. So we are going to divide our quantity sold, our cost of goods sold by our average inventory. So we have inventory. We have inventory turnover ratio. So I'm going to turnover ratio is going to give me divide. We have used divide, so you know that numerator by denominator is what we are going to do. So we look for our numerator is going to be our cost of goods sold. So our cost of goods sold. So divide the sum. They divide the sum of cost of goods sold. The cost of goods sold. We are going to close it. Just follow what is written there. If you find it so easy, then divided by the sum of what again? The sum of average inventory. So we have our average inventory, then close. I'm not going to times this by anything, so we have it as simple as that. Enter. Then the next thing I'm going to have is I'm going to have our inventory level. Our inventory level. So what is going to be our inventory level? So we go to another layer again. Then we have a new layer. And from there we are going to have our inventory level. Sometimes it's somehow slow. We just have to be patient with it because it's working on it. So that means I'm going to remove some from my machine. Probably I'm having a peak. I'm having too much load. So let's just wait a bit. So we are going to have our inventory level. We want to see our inventory level. So we are having inventory level as, let me see, is this please. So we are going to have our inventory level is going to be our sum of inventory level. So that is just what we need. We are going to have our sum of inventory level. So we have that already. Close. I click enter. Then we have just 2 more to go. We are going to have days of inventory. We want to have the days of inventory. So, and this is very, very also paramount in supply chain. So we are going to have days of inventory. So let me see, we are going to have days of inventory, days of inventory, days of inventory sales. So days of inventory sales, or we can put it as days of sales inventory. That would be 2. Days of sales inventory or days of inventory sales. So that would be 2. So we're going to divide. We're going to divide our inventory level. We're going to divide the sum of inventory level. Divide the sum of inventory. The sum of inventory level. So we have the sum of inventory level. Then with the sum of cost of goods sold. So that's going to give us our inventory. Services, sum of cost of goods sold. Then we are going to have it times 365. So this is going to give us times 365. So we are going to have double quote. Because already we have 1 here, we have already 2. So we've already closed 1. We open another 1. So we are going to have 2. 1 from this side, 1 from the division. Then we are going to have times 365. I think we have 365 this. So that's it. Then we click enter. So we have that already done. Then the next thing we are going to have is we are going to have what we call the last one, which is going to give us our average lead time. average lead time. So already we have our average lead time here. We have our lead time days. So we're going to, okay, we don't have average lead time, we don't have average inventory, but we're going to calculate our average lead time. So we have our average. Let me put that calculator as well. Our average lead time. Average lead time. So I'm going to have average lead time is going to give us average of what? Our lead time. Remember, we have our lead time in there, so we have this. So we just close this, then we click enter. So we are actually done with that already. So we are not creating any measure again. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to be having our chart one after the other. So I can just remove from this, and when we come back to this, we can see we have this. We can as well have this color, but we might not have this design. We can also have this. That is not a problem, but we might not have this here. So how I did it wasn't something too big. I see something is very easy to do. You can see, you just pick from here, you go to insert. From insert, you go to shape. Then from shape, you pick this shape. So that is what I just did for that here. So I wouldn't want to repeat it again. I'll go back home. So we have our supply chain already. Then we're going to have our KPIs here. So we'll go back to this. So we can now save. Then I'm going to pick this as the first one. And I'm going to have this. I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to reduce this. Let me still reduce it more. Reduce more. Then I'm going to remove this. Then I'm going to put our warehouse utilization. Warehouse utilization. So I'm going to have the warehouse utilization. Okay. What is happening? That's 100. This is actually wrong. This should be like this. So probably I'm making the same mistake. Sorry. So the 100 should be outside, not in between. So we have 34.8. So that is our warehouse utilization. So I'm going to 3 dots. Come to these 3 dots, and I'm going to format. From the format, you will go to category label. I don't want it, so I'm going to use my own title. Then I'm going to put warehouse utilization. Let me put it that way. Then I'm going to just expand it a bit. Then I'm going to make a center. You come to the horizontal alignment. You can see we have it at the left hand side. So I'm going to make it center. Then the next thing is I'm going to use an italic for it. Then I'm going to 14 is okay. We'll actually make it 14. Then what is the next thing to do? I will come back here. Then we'll come back to, let's go to size and style. I'm going to remove the background. I don't want the background, and I'm going to use what we call, I'm going to put this, and I'm going to come to get this color here. I actually need this color. So let me click on this, and let me go to formats, and let me get the background color. Let me go to format title. Okay, let me come back to this visual, and let me get this color. Is the same as this. So that is the color for the top. Then I will come back here and I will go back to my title. Then I'm going to have the background. I'm going to put it this way, then I'm going to have it done. So we have that. So that is the first thing we're going to do. Let's see. Already it's the same thing. So I come back here. Then I will come back to, let me go back to visual border. And I'm going to have the color also to be the same thing. So that's good also. Then I'm going to have something done here. I'm going to have, let me see. So you can see this is what we did to have. That's what we have here. So I'm going to put this very close here. Let me check out exactly. Let me just try to bring a bit down. So exactly that is what we have there. That is what I did to get that. Then I will also go to, let me close this, go to the background, and I'm going to use the same color for the background. I'm going to, let me see. Then let me try to reduce it a bit. So I'm going to make it, let me see. Let me make it 85. So I'll come back here and I'm going to remove this. Let me also click out of it and let me go to the background and let me, okay, we're having 85. Let me set the color that I use for the background. 1E. So 1E, I go back to this. Let me look at the color used for the background as well. 1A, so it's the same thing, 85. Okay, that is 85. So this is should be 85 as well. So I have it saved. I have this close. So that was what I did there. Then the next thing, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste two times because I need it for. So I'll bring it down here. Also bring it down here. And let me just make it a bit. I'll make it down here. I can easily move it up a bit. Move this also up a bit. Move this also up a bit. So I'm going to have this first. Then I'm going to change it to days of inventory sales. I'm going to, so I'm changing this to days of inventory sales. So we have 15.56. That is not actually right. So I will go back here and I'm going to make it 0. So let's see. So we have 16 days. So that's actually good. That is why we use 365 days. So I'm done with that. Then the next thing I'm going to, I'll come back to this, and this is going to be our inventory turnover. So I'll remove this. Then I'm going to have inventory turnover. So we have 23.47 inventory turnover. So let's rename this days of inventory. Let's go to close this and let's have it as this. Days of inventory. Inventory sales. Days of inventory sales. Inventory. So this should give event sales. So then this, we are going to have this to be our inventory turnover. So we just have to go to the title. We have our inventory turnover. Inventory. So we have our inventory turnover. So that is good about that. Then I always have my work to save. Then the next thing I'm going to do, the next thing is everything aligned here perfectly. Looking as if this is somehow okay, everything's aligned perfectly. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have our KPIs. Sorry, we are going to have our filter. I'm not going to use our this slicer. This is the first thing I'm going to use, and I'm going to have it as let me see if I can turn this to a slicer. Let me see if I can turn this to a slicer. Okay, we have that. Then we are going to have our region. So we have our region. So this time around, I'm going to remove this. Then we go to the title. We have the title. We're not going to have the title. We rather have the header. The slicer header. We have the slicer header. And I'm going to have region. Then I just let me see. Then we can just have this here. Then I can just move this block a bit. So I also try to have this. Yeah. Then from the actually, this is not going to be, it's going to be straightforward, but at least we can switch that. Then I'm also going to copy and paste. Then I'm going to remove region. Then I'm going to put category into it. So we have our category now. Then I'm going to have this here. Then another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce this, reduce this, reduce this. Then I will go to style and size. I'm going to make the height 90. I'm going to make the wide 170. Oh, wide 180. 180. So this is perfectly good. Yeah. So this is good. Then I move this up a bit. Then I move this up a bit as well. Please, if you find this video interesting, find this video useful, please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. Please just do anything you feel you could do to assist us growing. So I'm going to have this as this. I'm going to have this a bit as this. So this is perfectly aligned. Then I'm going to have this very close here. Then I'm going to have this as well. So I can actually reduce this and this as well. Let me hold this down and let me hold this down. And let me go to, let me use 150 for the height. I says no. Okay, let me use 152 for the height. It said no. 153. It says no. 154. It said no. 155 now. It said maybe. So don't use 156 for the height. So we have 156. So everything is perfectly good now. So we have this there. Is everything perfectly aligned? Let me see. So I think everything is perfectly done here. So I save my work. Then I remove this. I don't need it. So the next I'm going to have is I'm going to have my gauge. So we come here, we have this gauge, and I'm going to have my gauge here. And another thing I'm going to do about this gauge is going to be in a different format. So I'm going to have the gauge closer here, and I'm going to have it somehow big to cover almost half of this. Then I'm going to pick what we'll call our warehouse utility. So I'm going to the warehouse utilization. So I'm going to have that. You can see we have 58. Then the next thing I'm going to do for you to see is we are going to have our targets. That is the first thing we are going to do. We are going to have our target. I will go to gauge analysis, gauge axis. I'm going to make this as 0. Then I'm going to make this as 100. So you can see we have now 100 here, we have now 0 here. Then our target, I'm going to make it as 80 because that is our target here. Then I'm going to change. Let me go to call out value. No. Let me go to this. Let me remove the background. That's it. That's correct. I'm going to change this color. So let me go to. I will come back to the shadow. Let me go to teddy bear. Let me go to the color, and I'm going to change this color to our normal color. I'm going to change it to E. Oh, so I'll come back here. I will come back here. I have to use this. Then I'll come to this color. Then I copy this color. Then I come back here to have our color to be so we have our color to be this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is we go to, let's move up our size and size. We go to our visual. Then we go to the color as well. Then we're going to change it to background. So we're going to have this. So we are going to have this. So the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to have what we call it shadow. So that's all. And I'm going to have some twist into it. So we go back to, then I'm going to have it a bit. So I'll go back. Then I'll go to shadow. I'm going to outside, inside. So I should have this as wide as, let me see. Let me see what I actually did here. Then we are going to format it the same way. So I go to our style and size. We have the value, we have the title, we have 18. Then I'm going to have the visual border as 18. The visual border as 18. That's the only thing I needed to do. Then I'm going to the title. The title. Where is the title? Then I'm going to the title. Then I'm going to the background of the title. Then I'm going to have this based on it. So you see, we have that already. So we have our warehouse utilization going to be in full. So I'm going to click out of this. Then we have warehouse utilization. So we have warehouse utilization, and I'm going to center it. So that is what we need to do. Nothing more from this side, except if we want to increase it. So I'm having this perfectly closer here, then I can expand it a bit. We have our targets. Then the next thing I'm going to do before moving out, we go to, let's move on to our targets. We're going to use the same color for our targets. We're going to have this. So we're perfectly done there. Then I'm going to have our transportation cost by region and category. Transportation cost by region and category. So we're going to use what we call we're going to use cluster column chart for that. So let me click out of this. So go to cluster column chart. Then we have this cluster column chart. Then we have this to be here. Then for the cluster column chart, I'm going to have our category, which I pick. I'm going to have our region, which I'm going to pick. Make it 2. Then we're going to have our transportation costs, which is going to be 3. So we have the 3 part of it. So we are not going to change any color from this. So we are going to have the 3 color the way it actually is. Maybe we can just actually move it down a bit to be more taller. Then we can also move this down a bit to be more taller as well. Then we'll come back here. I don't need the background. I'm going to remove the background. I'm going to use the visual border, and I'm going to change the color to be this. Let's see if I still have it. Copy. Yeah. That's going to be the visual border. Then we go to shadow. Then we'll go to the shadow. I'm also going to have the shadow. I'm going to have the color of the shadow as this as well. Then I'm going to have the visual to be 18 as well. So you can see that. Then I'm going to have our accessory should not be. Let's go back. We have our category down. No. We have our region. So we are going to actually move our region here. Then we'll move our category. Then we'll move our category down to legend. So these are our categories. So our category is going to be in legend. So we have north, west, east, south. So we are good with that. So let me now a bit. Then the next thing I'm going to do, actually, let me go to the title. I'm going to remove the sum. I'm going to put transport costs by region and category. Then I'm going to the background. I'm going to have the background color paste. Then I'm going to, let me go to the legend. I'm going to, I don't know the legend title. Then the next thing I'm going to do, the legend, then I'm going to bring the title already. Then I'll bring everything down to the left. Let me see, central left, right, central left. Let me bring it down to downward. I think that is actually good. Category, I don't need the legend title. I'm going to remove it. Then I'm going to, so the x-axis, I don't need the title. I'm going to remove it. Then the next thing is, I'm actually going to remove the y-axis title as well. Let's go to the y-axis. I'm going to remove the title as well. I'm going to remove the title. Then for the value, I'm going to make it none. Let me see what is doing none. 800,000. That's actually good. And then I'm going to have, let me see, there's something I also like to add. Let me see, grid line. Let me see data below, reference line. Let me see grid line, horizontal. Let me see the grid line and horizontal line. I want to make it a bit darker like this. And I'm not going to make it a dotted line. Let me see. Let me make it a solid line. But I'm not going to make it too big. Okay, this is also small. Let me see, let me faint it a bit. Let me faint it a bit. Let me faint it a bit. So that is what I'm going to have there. Then that is already done with that. Then I'm going to move a bit closer here. Then I will save my work. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have, before then, let me click back this because I need a color. I'm going to pick this color. I'm going to copy it again. Then I'm going to have my line charts. So I'm going to click on the line charts. Then I'm going to make it this. Then for the line charts, I'm going to have units sold. I'm going to have units sold by date, and the date is going to be year. So I'm going to have units sold, total units sold, total units sold. Then I'm going to have my dates, and the date is going to give me year. So that's what I'm going to have. As you can see, 2021. So I'm going to reduce this a bit. Then I'm going to expand this a bit. Let me see after this. So I'm also going to reduce this a bit. I'm going to bring this somehow closer here. Then I'm going to expand this. Oh yeah, so good. I'm also going to, I want the whole years to show. We have 2021, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. These are the years we actually have. Then there is something I would like to do. Also, first of all, I'll go to formats. From the formats, I don't need a background. So first of all, go to the background. I will remove the background. Let me try to sort everything out once here. Then I'm going to put the color here, and I'm going to use the normal color. Then I'm going to make this 18. So, and I'm going to put the shadow, and I'm going to have the shadow to be the same color. I have that already. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I will go to, let me go to the title, and I'm going to use transport. This is unit sold. I'm going to have the unit sold by year, and forecasted for 2025. Let's say, where do we say forecasted for 2025? Don't worry, we are going to do that. Then I'm going to the background. Then I'm going to change the color to something like this. Then there's something I haven't been doing, which I have to complete it now. Let me quickly do it now. I'm going to have this. Okay, let me remove. So I'm going to have this as italic. I'm going to have this as italic. I'm going to have this as italic as well. Then I'll come back to this. I'll go to the x-axis. X-axis, I actually don't need the title. Then I'll go to the y-axis. I'm going to leave there. I'm going to the y-axis. The y-axis, I'm going to remove the title, but I'm going to leave the value. Yeah, I'm going to leave the value, but for the value, I don't want to use 1000. I just want to use none. I want to make it none. 200,000, 100,000, 150, 1,000. Let me use 0. Let me see what I'm going to have. Okay, decimal places is units, none. If I use 1000, let me see if I use 1000. Let me see, I don't want to use 1000. I just want to make it none. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I also go to grid line. Let's go to the grid line. I want to remove something from the horizontal line, dotted line, vertical. Let me see, let me remove those vertical line. Okay, I still have the vertical line. So let me see, horizontal line. So I still have horizontal line. I want to remove something else from it, dotted line. So I think we'll come back to that later. I want to go to the shaded area. So before then, I want to go to solid line, and I want to horizontal, and I want to make it width. Let me have the vertical line. This horizontal line. Let me see the vertical line. Dotted. Let me make it solid. So let me make it a bit bigger. And let me see. Okay. Actually, vertical line should also be off. And I'm going to make use of horizontal. I'm going to use a horizontal line, then I'm going to check out something from the horizontal line. So we'll go to grid, is 0, solid, one piece, is 0, solid. So I'm going to have this, okay, and I'm going to have is 0. Then the next thing is I'm going to have my data label. And first of all, I'm going to have my data label here. And I'm going to have them as under. Let me go to value. So we go to series, we go to value. From the value, I'm going to have every one of them display units. Display unit, I think that is, let me make it none. And let me see. And let me see 1000. Okay, I know where the problem is coming from. So now, so I'm going to do this and I'm going to put a comma there. Then I'll put this as none. So I'm not going to use 1000, I'll put it as none. So we have perfectly. Then I'm going to the position. The position should be under. The position should be under. That is good. Then I'm going to all. Okay, let me leave that one. Then I'll go to the shaded area. And I'm using the shaded area. I'm using the shaded area. Already I have everything completed now. Then the next thing we go to our forecast. Then we'll move down. Because already we said units sold by 2020, so units sold by year and forecasted for 2025. So we'll go to our forecast. As you can see, we have a forecast here. So I'm going to put in the forecast. Then I'm going to break it down. Then I'm going to the points. Then I'm going to use months. Then I'm going to use 6. I'm going to use. Then we are having our confidence share interval is 95. What does that mean? We are having 95 chances that we are going to get those amounts. So let me go to line. Then I'm going to, did I have anything on confidence share line? Then I'm going to apply. No, focus. I don't want 10 months. I want just 6. Just 6. Then I'm going to apply. So we're having to 2030. I don't want to use here. I'm using months. Then I'm applying for 6 months. So you can see we have our unit is months. Focus length is 6. Then ignore the last, which is 0. Then we're having our upper band and our lower band. So what did we do here? We are having confidence interval, which is 95. What does that mean? We have 95% chances that we are going to get the forecasted source. So in 2025 now, if I should move out of it first, and let me try to come down here, you can see we are having our forecasted, which is going to be 263,930. We are having our upper band of 372. So you can see that's why we're having upper band. You can see, and we're having our lower band of 150. 5,210. So that is what we forecasted for 2025. When I forecasted for 6 months, so you can see this is 2025. So we're having, this is what we're having in 2025. If I wanted to include months, I can easily come down here, units sold, I said the date is by year, I can just include the month and let me see what will actually happen. You can see we're going to have it by month, and we don't actually need that, so I only need the year alone. So I'm going to focus for 6 months. And then if I wanted to focus for the old 2025, I can just come back to where we have our, let's come back to where we have our forecast. And we have our forecast to be, there's our forecast line. I can easily use here. Since I'm not using month here, then I'm going to just make it 1. Then I'm going to click apply. So we are going to have the whole 2025 now. So that means this is giving us the whole 2025. So we are forecasting for the whole 2025. In the 2025, we are going to have 263,000, and we expected to have a upper band of 325 highest, and we're going to have lowest of 155 to 110,000. So we have that already sorted out. Then the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to close this, I don't need this. We are going to have our average lead time by category. So I'm going to use donut chart for that. Average lead time by category. So I have this average lead time by category. Average lead time by category. So I'm going to have this average lead time by category. What's the average lead time? This is our average lead time. Then I'm going to have it by category. So we have this. Then what next am I going to do is I'm going to format. And from the format, first of all, I go to background. I don't need it. I can actually go to put in my visual border. I need it. Then I'm going to use the color that I copied. I hope it's still working. Then I'm going to put a color here. Good. Then I will move out. Before moving out, I'm going to make this 18 as usual. Then I'm going to shadow. Then I'm going to have the color of the shadow as this as well. So I have the color of the shadow as this. So this is actually good. Then the next thing I'm going to, I'll go to the title. Then no, I'm not putting up the title. I'm actually putting on the title. Then I'm going to use to the background. Then I'm going to give it this. I'm going to put color. Then I'm going to center it. So I'm going to center it. So I'm having average lead time by category. So that is actually good. Then the next thing is I'm going to format that. I'm going to legend. Then I'm going to remove the legend. I don't need it. You may ask me why. Then I will tell you why I don't need it, because I'm going to delete data label. Then I'm going to label content. Then I'm going to use all. I'm going to use all label content. So all label content will give me all percentage, name, and everything. So I have this somehow big enough to cover it. So this is perfectly good. Then I'm having average lead time. I just want to, let me go to the average lead time. I just want 0. Just 0. Just 0. Exactly. 15 days, 16 days, 17 days. That is all I need. So please, if you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, please subscribe, please like, please share, just to encourage us. And please also comment. I also love to read comment, please do that. Then the next thing we're going to have is, have I saved? Yeah, save. The next thing I'm going to have is I'm going to have Backorder by status. So I'm going to use I'm going to use what we call cluster bar chart to give me that. I'm going to have cluster bar chart to give me that. So I'm going to have this, and I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to bring down a bit. I'm also going to bring down a bit. Then I'm going to have back order by order status. So we have our back order here. This is our total back order. Then we're having, what's happening? Is the back order not working? Sum of operation back order. Why? Where is our back order? Lead time. Oh, our back order should be count. So back order shouldn't be. Why am I having my back order as count? So back order is going to give me count. So I'm going to actually count A for the back order. Then I'm going to, so I think I should have the right something now. Everything is fine now. Then I'm going to back order by order status. Then I'm going to, let's just wait a bit, and I'm going to have the order status here. So I have that already done. Then the next thing is I'm going to do is I still have the color. So we have this fulfilled already. So since this is fulfilled, so let's go to background. We don't want it. Yes. So let me go to this. Then I'm going to use the color. I'm going to have the color to this. So we have that. Then I'm going to come down here. Now we have 18. Then the next thing is I'm going to put in my shadow. I'll put in my shadow. And for the shadow, I'm going to use the same color for the shadow. That is it. Then the next thing is I'll click out of it. Then I will go to, before the S-axis, I just want to go to the bar. I want to change something from the bar. I want to use the fulfill to be, no, fulfill. Yeah, change the color to something like this. So bright. I need something to a bit. I think that's actually good. Then pending back order. Then I'll go to pending back order, and I'm going to make it red. I have my manager to see that we have this to attend to. Then I'm going to have this cancelled as our normal color. So I'll go back here. I'm going to have this cancelled as our normal color. So I'm going to have the normal color as a cancelled. And this is going to give me this. So I will now go back to our S-axis and the Y-axis. Let me go back to the S-axis and the Y-axis. The title, I can easily do the title now. I fill the background of the title. I'm going to fill it with this. Then I'm going to Backorder. It's already centered. So it's doing Backorder. So I'm going to have what we call back order by order status. Then I'm going to have this as this. I'm going to have this as this also, as this, and I'm going to have this as white, because I'm going to have every one of them as white. So I can as well just try to do now so that I won't forget. Yeah, white. So this. right, this, so this, right, so we have this, super white. Then I'm just going to press this, hold Control Shift, Control me, keyboard, not Shift, just Control on. Then I'm going to have the whole 3 as white. Then I'm going to hold Control, click, hold Control my keyboard. Then I'm going to have this as white as well. So I'm having that perfectly done. So everything's good. Then I'll come back to this. Then we go to our y-axis and x-axis. For the y-axis, I don't need the title. For the x-axis, I don't know about the title and the color. And the value. Then just go to the detail label and just put on my detail label. That's how. Then I'm going to save. Then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to paste. And I'm going to have it here. And I'm going to make this one hard back. And I'm going to have this. So next we are going to have inventory level by category and region. Inventory level by category and region. So I'm going to remove category from this. Then I'm going to bring out the region to the legend. Inventory level by category. Then I'm going to remove transportation costs. And I'm going to use inventory level instead. And I'm going to pick the category to the x-axis. So we have everything perfectly done now. So I have accessory, I have electronics, I have furniture, and I have everything. So the next thing I'll just have to change just the title. Just the title. Then I'm going to make this big before the title. Then it's going to be inventory level. Inventory. Oh my God. Not have inventory level by. No. Let me use small letter. Inventory level by category and region. And region. So inventory level by category and region. So actually done with that. So the next thing we're going to do is for us to have our, let me close this. So we're going to have our title. So we are gradually moving to the end. So we are going to have our title. I'm just going to click this here. Then I'm going to reduce it a bit. I'm going to put it here. Then I'm going to put the title as supply chain. Supply chain analysis. And then I'm going to make it like it's in. I'm going to make it a bit longer. I'm going to center it. I'm going to bring it this. and I'm going to change it to italic as well. Then I'm going to use what we call winding. No, sorry. So I'm using, thank you. Then I'm going to this. I'll go to format. I will go to silence. Then I'm going to remove the background. Then I have to come back here. I have to make it white. Then I have to come down somewhere here. Okay, no problem. Come back to somewhere here, especially to the top. I need a color, a border color. I'll copy this. I'm going to copy the color, then I will come back to this. And I'm going to make import. I'm going to, even with that, okay, because we are, okay, I'm going to use this color now. I'm going to paste this here, and I'm going to paste this here. Can I change this color? This color should be able to be changed. Let me see. So I'm going to use this. Let me see. It doesn't work. If it doesn't work, then definitely I'm going to use blackface. Let me see. So we have that. Then I will come back to border. I'm going to have a border. Then I'm going to put this as a border. So, and let me see. And let me make it 18. Then I'm going to shadow. Then I'm going to make the shadow this color. So we'll have the shadow like that. So that is our supply chain. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to reduce this to the system. And I'm going to move this one up a bit. So that's supply chain analysis. Then the last thing that we just have to do is just for us to have our filter category year month. So I have 3 here, and then I just come down to slicer. I pick this slicer. I don't have to do that. So already we have our category here. Region, month category. So I just remove this. Then I'm going to pick one. And the one that I'm going to use is just going to give me here. So that's just what I need. So I'm going to have this to be removed, and I'm going to have the year to be placed. Date. Then I'm going to have the year. Then I'm going to format, slicer titles, settings. I don't want a vertical. Let me see title. 21 to 23. '24. 24. Then I want to go to value. Then I want to go to properties. Headers icon. Let me see. I want to go to advanced option, data format. Date here. Advanced option, response. So I'm going to remove the response. Then I'm going to go back to the visual. Then the title is going to be here, not region. Then we are done. Once again, thank you for joining me in this wonderful ride, supply chain analysis. Please, if you find this video useful, please, if you find the video interesting, please subscribe, please like, please comment. These are just the simple things that you can do to encourage us. By liking our video, by subscribing, by commenting. Also, these are the little things you can do to support us, and we really appreciate it. So please, if you find this video interesting, please subscribe, please like, please comment as well. This will go a long way in supporting the growth of this YouTube channel. Please comment. Probably what we are doing you don't like it, please comment, please like, please subscribe. Thank you very much. So we are going to test it. The year now, then we call it today. So you can see we have our 2023. This is what we have. We have our warehouse capacity 33,054. 2022, you can see what we have. 2022, you can see what we have as well. 2023, you can see what we have. Then 2024, just last year, you can see what we actually also have when we are dealing with by year. Then what we decide to do with probably year, and let's go to region and see for East. You can see everything change. You can see not everything changes. So we can also go to region and say, okay, we want to see what happened in East in region in 2020. So you can see we have everything perfectly done. So once again, my name remains Peter Analytics. Thank you for taking this wonderful ride with me. Please subscribe, please comment, please like, and look forward to you in the next video. Thanks once again, and bye for now.